Do you know the revolution of gaming? Let's find out.
Today we're going to break down the entire story of cloud gaming, from what was basically a failed dream to what could be the future of all interactive entertainment. So, let's start with the promise, right? The incredible dream of cloud gaming. Just picture it, the biggest, most graphically intense games running perfectly on your phone, your old clunky laptop, your smart TV, all with no downloads, no installs, and no need for expensive new hardware. You see, the vision was so simple, but at the same time, totally revolutionary. The whole idea was to make gaming as easy and accessible as streaming a movie on Netflix. No more $1,000 consoles, no more gatekeeping. Just the best games for everyone, everywhere, instantly. Yeah, but that's not quite what happened, was it? The first real attempt to make this dream a reality, well, it stumbled. And it stumbled hard. For anyone who tried it back then, the experience was less like magic and a lot more like playing your favorite game in slow motion. So, what on earth went wrong? How could this incredible idea just fizzle out? Well, the answer really lies in a perfect storm of bad timing and one absolutely crippling tech. Let's rewind a bit. Back in the early 2010s, you had these absolute pioneers, right? Companies like OnLive and Gaikai. They showed up with this world-changing idea, they built the tech, they launched their services, but the world, and more importantly, the internet it was running on, just wasn't ready for them. Look, the thing is, it wasn't just one problem. The scales were just completely tipped against them from the start. It was this nasty combination of a market that wasn't ready, a serious lack of games from publishers, and that one critical game-breaking technical flaw.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of the problem, the one single devastating issue. Latency. We're talking about that tiny delay between you pressing a button on your controller and seeing the action happen on the screen. In any fast-paced game, that delay is everything.
So you might be asking, how much delay is too much? Well, there's kind of this magic number that researchers found, 150 milliseconds. Once you go past that, the illusion is completely shattered. The game feels sluggish, unresponsive, and your sense of control is just gone. And here's the kicker. The reality for those early services, they were constantly operating right in that frustrating zone, a lot of the time pushing between 150 and 250 milliseconds of lag. That's the difference between landing a perfect headshot and watching a replay of your own character getting knocked out. It just wasn't playable. But here's where the story gets interesting. While that first dream of cloud gaming was fading away, the world itself was quietly changing in the background. The stage was being set for a pretty dramatic comeback. And all of a sudden, all those weaknesses from the early days, they started getting countered by these new powerful market strengths. The scales really started to tip back in the other direction, creating a much stronger foundation for cloud gaming's second chance. And what was the biggest shift of all? You're looking at it. The absolute explosion of mobile gaming. I mean, this chart says it all. Mobile's share of the entire gaming market more than doubled in less than a decade. And what that did was train a whole generation of players to expect games on demand, anywhere they wanted. And listen, it wasn't just mobile. It was a whole bunch of things happening at once. We got way faster internet with 4G and then 5G. We all got used to buying our games digitally instead of on discs, and players started to care more about franchises like Call of Duty or FIFA than the specific plastic box under their TV. All of this created the perfect storm for a comeback. Okay, so with all that in place, it should be smooth sailing now, right? Well, not quite. The modern era of cloud gaming is a really careful balancing act, and we've already seen some huge players fall right off that tightrope. See, being successful today isn't just about having the best, fastest streaming tech. You have to weigh the incredibly high cost of running all those data centers against what people actually want, what they're willing to pay, and whether your business model makes any sense. And if you want a perfect, almost painful example of this, just look at the fall of Google Stadia. For a lot of people, the tech was actually fantastic, but the service failed because it just couldn't solve that market side of the puzzle. The business model was confusing, and it never built up a must-have library of games. So here's the key takeaway for where we are right now. For most people, cloud gaming isn't a replacement for their high-end PC or their console. Its main strength, its key value, is portability and convenience. It's that feature that lets you jump into a new game instantly on your phone while the full file is downloading to your console in the background. But this is where we get to the really exciting, kind of mind-bending part. The true potential of cloud gaming isn't just about streaming the games we already have. It's about creating entirely new experiences that would be literally impossible to run on your local hardware. So this roadmap here, it really lays out that evolution perfectly. Take a look at the journey it charts. It goes from being just a complementary feature today, through these new hybrid models, all the way to a future where the cloud becomes the core gaming platform, enabling stuff we can barely even imagine right now. So what does that journey actually look like? Well, in the near term, it's all about perfecting that stream and making games way more social. Then you move to the midterm, where AI-based encoding kicks in. Think of it as smarter compression that uses way less bandwidth, and new devices like smart glasses open up totally new doors. And then, long term, that's when things get really interesting, when it becomes the core platform deeply tied into the social and metaverse markets of the future. Now, the key that unlocks all of this is a concept called hybrid computing. And it sounds complex, but think of it like this. Your local device, your console or phone, handles the split-second reactions, the stuff that needs zero lag, like aiming and shooting. But the cloud handles the truly heavy lifting, like the physics for an entire city collapsing, or the AI for thousands of individual characters, all at the same time. So what does that actually let us do? I mean, what are the true game changers here? Well, imagine this. A social hub where you and your friends can instantly jump into any game together, no downloads, no waiting. Or think about games with worlds generated by AI, totally unique to every single player. The cloud literally becomes the gateway to the metaverse itself. And all of this, it leaves us with one final, really fascinating question to chew on. As the lines between what's running locally and what's running in the cloud start to blur, is this technology just going to be another option on the menu? Or is it the inevitable endpoint for how all of us interact with all digital worlds?